Well, according to my Macintosh, it is 11 o'clock. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity Northwest Church here in Des Plaines, Illinois. I'm Reverend Elizabeth Mora, and it's fantastic to have you with us this morning. You can probably see there's something a little bit different this morning. There's me, and there's another face smiling at you, waving at you, sending you, beaming you love. Let's give a welcome to our guest, Martha Creek.
Hi, everybody. It is absolutely my delight to be here with you.
She was to be with us in person this summer, and we're getting her online. Like, we're getting so many things these days. So welcome to our beloved Martha Creek. We're so glad to have you with us. I wish you were here in person, but she comes through the screen. I'm with her every week on at least one, if not two Zoom calls. Can't get enough, Martha. So she comes through on Zoom. Just as she does in life. You are in for a treat, Unity. You're in for a treat. Let's do that together. Nice, deep, cleansing breath. And feel free to make a sound when you let it out. I am now fully present into this Sunday experience with all of you. As we each open up our hearts and settle in, and once again come back to our core, to remember the truth that we are divine, we are fully human, we are blessed beings having this experience as we walk together in oneness, as we walk through the challenges, as we support each other, and as we use these beautiful, ageless unity teachings of the Christ within us, and the power of our thoughts to help us turn on a dime and to find love and compassion in our heart for all of it, to bring wholeness and welcoming to this whole blessed journey. So here's a quick test for you. Anybody notice any mistakes so far that have happened? I mean, there hasn't been a sound blurb yet. We haven't had that yet. That's not going to happen. We got that fixed. So if you notice anything, just pop it down in the comments. Let us know if you noticed anything a little bit different, a little bit funny, something that's not quite right today.
Tell the truth. It's just wrong, wrong, wrong.
Wrong, wrong. I thought it was a choice. I thought it was a choice. And again, you are the church. Martha and I are here to share of our hearts. And the real church is all of us coming together, not a building, not just a minister. It takes all of us. So that's why we're glad you're here. It's the only way this works. Otherwise, it's just me looking at a green dot on a Macintosh. Make sure you say hi in the comments. You've already been doing that. You can share the video later on Facebook or start a party now. Let your friends know what this is like. There's so much to show them now that we're all online. And comment often, especially making fun of Martha. I really recommend that. Let's see. We'll just see what we can throw at her today. And so as we begin our There we go. As we begin our Sunday service sermon portion, Martha's going to talk to us. It was something that was in one of her emails, and it just struck me. She'll make it all make sense, but save the fish, save the turtles, save yourself. And Martha Creek has been a friend of our church for 10, 12, 15 years, long before I came here. And Martha's been a personal friend of mine for a while. She is a church consultant throughout Unity and New Thought and small businesses and big businesses. And she is someone who lives, as we like to say, deeply authentically. She's got an amazing sense of humor. She serves on boards. She is part of creating things within Unity, and yet she is her own person. So she brings this perfect balance of an outside perspective and an insider's knowledge. She's been at this for a long, long time, probably since she was at least 3, I think. So let me turn it over to my friend, to one of my mentors. Yes, I would even call her a guru. My dear friend, Martha Creek, take it away.
Thank you, honey. Thank you. Well, we got to start right there. First of all, Mary gets the prize because she caught the misspelling of my precious name. So we can pass out the prize there. So way to go, Mary, for tuning in there, paying attention. And it's also part of, honey, listening. Reverend Elizabeth, thank you for your words, honey. I love you. I love you. I love serving with you. I also love that you are living such a purposeful life yourself, as described by finding delight and making sure that what you do in ministering has elements of joy in it, that you're absolutely clear that it's beneficial to others, and that you continually grow yourself. And that's very, very important to me. And that's the first invitation I want to throw out here to everybody. And it's no little thing in the times that we're in right now to find even a hint of joy in something you've done today, somebody you've called, a friend you've called, somebody you've reached out to, maybe a little handwritten note that you put in the mail. And actually, I started to say licked a stamp, but we've not licked stamps now in about 50 years. So stuck a stamp on it and mailed it. It's considered luxury now to get a piece of mail. So think about what you could do in the way of reaching out to somebody. And it means the world to serve with you all there. So wherever you are listening to this, my devotion is to serve those who serve. And my commitment is to get empowered teachings to the whole of the planet. So this is offered in that vein for those very, very intentional, purposeful, specific reasons. And this talk title today was inspired by, I've been really observing children lately. I've had a lot of children energy around me in my family and with the ones closest to me, my great nieces, and now somewhat great nephews. And I've been learning a lot from them. So and I've also had an encounter just a day or two ago with this little guy in the only meal that I'd had out for the week, and being real mindful, wearing masks, sitting on the patio on the porch, not going in, etc. And he was really wanting to interact with me. He was really looking to connect with me. So as I think about the daily word today, togetherness. Now, this is somebody who's never seen me, never met me. I don't know him, just a kind of a quote public place, but he was really, really connecting with me, and he was talking a little bit, and I was really enjoying him. And he reached in his pocket and pulled out some coins, some money, and whoever the adult was with him said, "Stop bragging." So my heart was really struck by that message, that he was showing me the money he had in his pocket. And the message that came to him was, "Stop bragging." So I had a lot of compassion for the person that's handing down that message and how it was handed down to them, that somebody also taught them, like, to show that would be to be bragging. And I want to see it differently. I wanted to see it like, how else can I see this? And I'm going to see this differently without judging that person. So with compassion in my heart for that message, compassion for that man, compassion for his ancestors that handed that message down to him, with intent to serve. Well, likely I'll go with an innocence of intent at least. And that little guy said to me, he looked like he was about 3, "Do you want some money?" So he was going to give me some of his money. And I said, I love that you have money, and I love that you would share it. And I would love it if you would just keep that. And his little face just dropped. He was so what appeared to be disappointment, like he couldn't believe that I wasn't going to take his offer. So I opened my heart again. I opened my compassion channel again, and realized I was wanting to gift him, and he was wanting to gift me. So the gift was for me to receive that gift. So an awakening in my mind, not waiting anymore, which is one of our invitations I want to put forth today. And I said, so do you want me to have some of your money? He said, yes, I do. He lit back up again, and he took out one of his 3 quarters and gave it to me. So now, okay, I've just touched something. I've just touched something from somebody else. So where's the middle ground to say, how far am I going to go with this? And I can tell you, medicine comes in many forms. So the quarter's in my hand, and right in my pocket it went. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep that quarter. It was a big, big lesson, an awakening, if you will. So what am I going to save? Who's going to be saved here? And the other little kid story was, I was on a farm with some kids, and we saw a big, giant snapping turtle near the road. So we stopped to look at the turtle and admire the turtle and wonder what the turtle was up to and where it's been, and to learn a little bit about turtles. And then the grandfather came by and said, look, Grant, look, Paul, we have a turtle. And he said, well, do you want me to kill the turtle? And the kid said, no, don't kill the turtle. And he said, well, it'll get in the pond and eat all the fish. And they said, no, don't kill the turtle. He said, okay, fine. And it'll get in the pond and kill all the fish. And one of the kids said, kill the turtle. So where's the victim here? Who's the perpetrator? Who's going to rescue? So where does it leave us? With the bewilderment and the absolute certainty of a circle, unity, a order, if you will. And my lessons came that day in observing. And I can highly recommend just ever now and again not having to have an opinion about everything. And it's hard to do for me at times, and it's hard to do for most human beings. Apparently, in our learning processes, we've not awakened yet to our opinion may not be necessary in every interaction. So think about it today, what you could save in yourself, the energy you could save, the vitality you could save, the angst you could save yourself. If here and there, sometimes I didn't have to put forth what I believe or what I think or what I want or what I need. It doesn't mean to martyr, so it's the opposite of that, but here and there. So think about what you could save yourself from today when it's clear that whoever you're talking with has no opening for what you believe. So this week in one of the classes, I said they didn't have any ears. And I proceeded like they had ears, and there was no ears. So to be real careful about how much I'm going on and on and on when it's clear that there's not an opening for it. And then I learn from it. I regret it. I regret going on. And I've got repair work to do, to clean up work around there for my sake, I believe, and for the sake of human learning processes. So these classes that Reverend Elizabeth's talking about, you can join in. MarthaCreek.com has all the detail. It's a website. There's free videos, podcasts, all matters of things there. If this teaching, any part of this is resonant with you, you can go there and keep this teaching close to you. And the invitations that I wanted to put forth here as we go into this today, a new day, and into a new time. And I just, this morning, like, people have a sense, or they're speaking about like being on the brink of something, being in the brink of something. So if it's true that we're on a brink of something, what are you going to bring to the brink? What are you going to bring to the brink of, if it's true that we're on the brink of something, what are you bringing to the brink? And whatever it is. So here's the invitations. And it is, don't wait. So whatever compassion you've been waiting for, whatever amend making you've been waiting for, make amends. Do all the forgiveness you can do. Do everything you know from a spiritual practice. Bring it. Rise up, rise up, rise up, and bring it. So now's the time. We're the people. We've heard this for centuries, millennia, even since the creation of time. Like, our human learning processes are evolutionary. So in that evolutionary process, then there's causative, generative, creative, co-creative properties, propensities, tendencies, cause, possibilities, potential. So be potential. Live into potential. So it means crawling out of some of these old skins and crawling out of, and I mean by that, our old ways, the old limited thinking of any kind, and to say, how else can I see this? And even if some of you are just holding on by a thread, hold on by that thread, tie a knot in that doggone thread and hang on there. And as Reverend Elizabeth was talking about that, to use this time to really connect with somebody that gets you, somebody that you won't have to work at being yourself, or be somebody, so you can actually get some restoration to your spirit, some restoration to your soul, to rejuvenate yourself, to take some rest, and to carve out time for that. So if it's an hour of Sabbath, an afternoon of Sabbath, a day of Sabbath, whatever, wherever you can start. So the first invitation is, the second one now is just don't wait on whatever that is that's going to save yourself. Could be putting some limits up with some people, some limits up with certain conversations, limits up with some media, limits, only you know what it is. So my formulas for me, and I'm testing it like in a laboratory. So don't wait to do something that leans you purposely, intentionally into save yourself. The other one is to bring your whole self to the experience. And this has been inspired by a book called The 5 Invitations for me to look at this. And it speaks about how, and particularly us helper types, and most of us are in New Thought, we got a helper gene, and save somebody, save the world, save the this, save the that, motivations and heartfelt desires and dreams to do so. And we're scared to death of our own helplessness. And we're scared of futility. So see, where the fear of being helpless or the fear of futility would cause you even bewilderment or confusion or apathy, resignation, and see how can you set that aside, the tendencies of that, to say, I'm bringing my whole self, all of me, emotional parts, spiritual parts, vitality, physical parts, all of me. So think about this when you were a kid. And maybe some of you, you've had an occasion or two since you were a kid when you kind of lost track of time, where you were so into something that you couldn't believe that much time had passed. And I don't mean Facebook, by the way. Nothing against it. We're here using it, for God's sake. Here we are using it. I'm talking about something where you came alive, where you came out of it feeling uplifted, feeling inspired, feeling bolstered up, shored up. The opposite of being worn out, drained out, exhausted. whatever that is, and to get some mindfulness about it today. Dr. David Hawkins, many of you have read his works. I very much love them. He's got tons and tons of YouTube videos of, he's passed now, but his teaching's been preserved and archived. So if you were into those books, get in there to some of those audio presentations of his on the YouTube. And he spoke about everything in the world either strengthens us or weakens us. A conversation will either strengthen us or weaken us. Or journal writing, strengthen or weaken how we look at something. So begin to get a new sense of that. A new sense of, hey, is this strengthening me or weakening me? Oh, I better save myself. I better save myself. And to bring my whole self to something. So when I hugged one of these kids, when we were leaving, she started just sobbing. I mean, crocodile tears. I've not seen tears that big in years. These crocodile tears. And the adult said, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. And I said, cry, honey, you cry. I love crying. So our whole self, that was a kid who had an honest expression of what they're feeling. It's like, good for you. Keep it as long as you can. And we don't have to cry. But it's proven scientifically to have pain relievers in it. So I say, save yourself and cry some. And it won't take you long to find something to cry about. And then go, okay, I've cried, brought my whole self to it. Now, what can I do? Is there anything I can change? What can I change? And if I'm hyper now alert to going in the direction of saving myself, how would that look here? What can I do about this? And what can I bring to it that would bring my soul alive, that would bring my spirit back to a revitalization of that? And then the biggest invitation, maybe there's two more, and one is to find a way to rest. Now, I spoke a little bit about it regarding the Sabbath, and to take a little time for Sabbath. And it's been encouraged by every faith tradition, even professions, to take sabbaticals, a time of Sabbath. So I want you to consider today, and I am, that it's not just conceptual or theoretical. The importance of having time to contemplate, to pray, to meditate, to read something inspiring, to recreate the mind, to be in a time of recreation. Could be something as simple as a jigsaw puzzle, a walk in nature. Who knows? Only you know what it is. And I absolutely know that if I hadn't have been able to master this to some degree, I wouldn't have been able to serve. Reverend Elizabeth said, I've been at this since I was 3, and she's right about that. And I'm not 3, or close. And somehow over time, I knew it was important to find a way to rest while I work. So my first ministers used to say, you have got a mastery of your vocation is your advocation. That's how they said it. Your vocation is your advocation. And it felt true. So now it's not as clear about what is work and not work to me because of how much I love it and how fulfilled I am by it and how easier and easier it is for me. So find a place and a way to rest in the middle of things, particularly these threats, these changes, these losses, these deaths, the closings, the isolation, the distancing, the whatever's going on there. So important to find a solid ground, a way to rest while we're in this storm, to stay in the eye of this storm. And you'll know you're not in the eye anymore when your bristles start coming up. And then the last invitation for today is to cultivate the I don't know mind. So that means pushing nothing away, resisting nothing. It doesn't mean agreeing with it. No, I don't agree with things. I don't agree. I do not believe that. And so it doesn't mean giving up your convictions, but to include it. So because all the resisting you do gives it energy, gives it power. You've heard it many ways said. What you resist, whatever we resist persist. So a way then to say, I don't agree with this. I'm not going to be part of this. I stand against this. I'll vote against this, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to say that this is absolutely included in the human learning processes. This is a part of reality. And until I accept what I cannot change, then I'm powerless to do anything about it. So it's the real wisdom then to absolutely be about changing everything I can to bring my whole self to it, not to wait to do that, to come from a place of power, not force, and to absolutely accept that there's things I cannot change. And wise enough to know the difference of that. So how will it end? I don't know. When will it end? I don't know. And it's that I've got to tell myself the truth about that to save myself. Because if I start falling off into a terror chamber, a hell hotel, if I check into hell hotel over what's going to happen and start playing out images in my mind of how this may go, then I won't have the energy, the vitality, the stamina, the innovation, the creative, causative use of my mind to be about bringing any change about. So I can't know. I know what I know when I need to know it, and to allow for things to unfold as they are and to make the most empowered, practical, sensible choices you can to proceed, and caring for your heart all the way. And as we go into this together, I love that word, to know that a wise teacher told me many, many decades ago now, the thing about life, Martha, are these. This is what you can know for sure. This is what I can say I know for sure. And I can't even say it with a straight face. You can tell because I don't know that for sure either. But it helped. I can tell you that. It's been a guiding light and a guiding principle for me. And she said is, you don't have to do it alone. Whatever it is, you do not have to do it alone. We're built for togetherness. So find someone that can stand with you, that can listen, that can bolster you up, that can support you in some way. And you don't have to do it alone. And it's going to take longer than you like. Darn. So knowing it's going to take longer than we like, whatever it is, how can you save yourself now? To say, how can I keep the grit that I need, the resilience I need, the perseverance, the faith, the devotion, the imagination, the will, the understanding, the love, the power, the peace, the life, the letting go, the renunciation, the elimination, all the power within me, all the human power of me in the spiritual aspects, physical aspects, emotional aspects, good intellectual, good sense. How can that all be reactivated, reignited, resparked today to say, I don't know. I don't have to know. And this seems the most sensible step I can take right now. It's going to take longer than I like. And here's what I'm going to do today to save myself, to save my strength, and to use all of that vitality then to bring about all the change that I can in the world. So I know who you are. I know what you are. I know how you serve. And I bow to you for that. And I know who I am. I know what I am. And I know how I serve. So together we go. And together we can do what we cannot do alone. So here we go again. Together it is. All my love to you. Richest blessings in all things, infinitely and eternally. MarthaCreek.com to contact me. Much love.
Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
MarthaCreek.com if I can support you. Blessings.